Do you know how a fully paralyzed woman urinates? The caretaker spreads the woman's legs apart. Then she keeps tapping her abdomen with her fingers. Then the bladder is pressed firmly. After 10 seconds the urination is over. Mary opened her eyes. She was ashamed of it, but there was nothing she could do about it. Because of her physical handicap, this rich young lady's temper has become very eccentric. She was never satisfied with any of her attendants. All the caregivers were scolded by her. At that moment, a scruffy bum came in. He wanted to apply for the job. Mary interviewed him herself. Mary wasn't happy with the disheveled man, but there was nothing she could do about it. There was no one else left to care for her, so Jack stayed. After dinner, the housekeeper told him that he had to get up every night to help her pee. Then he took Jack to Mary's room and showed him how to urinate. It was hard for Jack to watch, but for the sake of living, he had to do it. But the next day he overslept. Mary was so angry that she cursed at him. Jack quickly brought breakfast to her. Under his careful care, Mary finally calmed down. She said she'd let him off the hook this time, but next time, her bathroom time is at 10 o'clock. Jack can get the hell out of here if he forgets again. This time Jack didn't forget. He came in right on time with his piss pot, to which Mary shyly turned her head away. But Jack had forgotten all about the urination procedure, and he accidentally got it on his hand. He couldn't stand it any longer, so he went to the housekeeper and asked for his resignation. But when he heard Mary's story, he was silent. The housekeeper said Mary was a rich girl because she was dumped by her fiancé. She was driving her car trying to get her boyfriend back, but there was a car accident. She was paralyzed in the lower half of her body. After hearing all this, Jack sympathized with this strong woman. He bought a fish and made Mary a filet salad, but she didn't appreciate it. She didn't like fish because she was afraid of the spines. In the face of such an unreasonable woman, Jack carefully brought the fish to her mouth. Mary had a taste of it. She didn't realize how delicious it was, so she gave a look that signaled that she wanted another bite. Jack's patience gained Mary's trust. When he got home, Jack started drinking again. He used to be a top boxer. After he left his career, he was confused about life all day long. He didn't realize that the next day Jack had overslept. When he reappeared at Mary's side, Mary was furious and warned him not to come back if he was late again. To stop being late, Jack gave up drinking. That day Jack offered to take Mary out of the room so she could experience the outside world, but Mary refused because she didn't think Jack was trustworthy. Jack asked her, "Are you going to stay here forever?" Mary was silent. Jack said he wanted to surprise her. Driven by curiosity, Jack carried her out of the room where she'd been held captive for 7 years. Jack took out a box. He told her to close her eyes. He asked Mary to guess the scent of the perfume by smelling it. The game was too good for Mary. It was the first time she ever said thank you to Jack. For the rest of her life, Mary would ask Jack to push her out for a walk, and her mood became better and better. But it didn't last. That night Jack was robbed.